Welcome, Anne. Thank you very much for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you. So, you were telling me a little bit earlier on about how you've been transitioning over the years between writing short fiction and non-fiction. So, why the change between the two, and how have you found those transitions between the two? How have they affected and influenced your fiction writing?
Um, well, as I was saying, even when you're writing journalism, even when you're writing a review of an art exhibition, even when you're doing a profile of a
Hmm.
of an artist, which was probably my life for about 50 years, not 30, 50 years, no, about 30 years, you're telling a story and it
Hmm.
has to have a lead, it has to have a beginning, it has to
Hmm.
have a middle and an end. And of course, that applies to fiction as well. If anything, the way I've been working as a writer most of my life is to follow the rules.
Hmm.
I mentioned E.B. White,
Yes.
the elements of style, and I've always worked for a kind of clarity in what I write.
Hmm.
And of course, I think that carries over into fiction as well, although you have a lot more liberty. But I just always aim for as much clarity as I can.
Hmm.
It's bringing a certain emotional tenor that's new to fiction. You're very aware that you are, in a sense, manipulating the reader
Hmm.
into going where you want to go. And I'm not yet really even comfortable with that process. I think you need a good editor to help you along. And so that's the way the two. Right now I'm working on a review for the Wall Street Journal,
Okay.
but I kind of can anticipate where my editor is going to question things, but not entirely.
Okay.
Um, but it's easier. And fiction is just more of an adventure. Um, uh, I can be in the middle of the story and see, oh, this is going to go someplace entirely
Okay.
different from what I first intended. And I think that's the adventure of it. Or
Yes.
I might think, well, I really need to add a little more flesh to this character's bones.
Hmm.
And it makes it more fun, at least for me, um, at my advanced age. Um, so that's really the only interaction I see between the two. It's not as though there are writers like Tom Wolfe ages ago and Truman Capote who were into the idea of the nonfiction novel.
Hmm.
Well, that's not me. I
Okay.
can't do that.
I like the way there you were talking about fiction being more of an adventure. Do you just write the story and see where it takes you? Is that how you approach the adventure?
I think it's so mysterious to where stories come from. I thought
Mhm.
I'd reached the end of a line with a series of stories that I've been working on,
Okay.
and I thought, no, I have one or two more
Hmm.
that I want to mess around with
Yeah.
before I move on to something else. I've also, when things are a little fallow, I've been working on a memoir,
Okay.
and that's again a somewhat different way of writing, in that I'm trying hard not to make things up too much. Just stick with the facts. And it's all about, I think, for most writers, it's about finding a voice
Yes.
that is comfortable. And in the it took me many years to
Okay.
get to that point. Maybe people who go through MFA programs have an easier time of it. That must be one of the things your professors drill into you, that, find your own voice. Well, when you work for magazines,
Hmm.
you're writing often in the voice they want you to write in because
Right.
that's
Yes.
the way the magazine works.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if that answers your questions,
It
but
does. No, it does. It does. And it's very interesting. Thank you very much.